Defenses are getting ready.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me turn down that house call. And I am Ophelia Mellons, joined with the one and only Heads Will Roll. And we have an exciting night.
We do. We just wrapped up first game, right? So the B teams, Axis of Annihilation and the Reign of Terror. And we are going into game 2. Wheels of Justice and the Rat City All-Stars.
All right, that's pretty cool just to start us off. Lauren Much already picking up lead. Jammer, but does get hit out of bounds there. That's going to be CC with the hit. And Lauren Much up the inside. And, of course, Rose City Rollers, Wheels of Justice, number 2 in the world currently. Rat City, currently number 20, which I think is maybe the lowest they've ever been. And they only have one place to go now. Let's go up. But the Much calling off this jam, picking up a quick 4 here. And we are getting settled in here. What do you got for us, Heads?
Well, Mellons, you talked a little bit about the rankings. This is a matchup we look forward to every late summer, right? We've seen this year in and year out, these teams going up against each other. Last September, Wheels of Justice with the win. They played, August 19th, so almost a year ago exactly. Rose pulling out a win at 363-61 at that time. And we have Bonnie Thunders on the line going up against A Green.
A Green here around the outside. Bonnie finds a line, gets tracked down there. Laser eyes there from number 83. That's going to be Thumper. Really fast-moving game here as we start off Jam 2. And that'll get called off quickly. Some points. 0 points for Rat City. And 4 big ones for Rose City. And so like you were saying, these are sibling leagues. Like I've played on both of these teams, A and B level. Like this is forever. Both of these leagues been in for 14, 15 seasons. They play every year. And it's always it's a tough matchup. There's emotions sometimes, even if there's a disparity in the rankings.
Right.
Still play every single minute.
Yeah, it's kind of bragging rights, right? Like,
absolutely.
No matter what is going to happen in the next few months with playoffs and champs, it's bragging rights.
I'll tell you what, though, we're all going to go to the Nightlight Lounge tonight and shake a beer at it and have a great time.
One of those signature cocktails the Nightlife Lounge is doing for us. For those watching us online via Blaze streaming media, we will have one for you.
It's the right thing to do.
Brute picking up 5 points on that pass.
Brute getting those deep Brute cheers from this sold-out crowd.
Yes, they are not booing.
No, it's
like Brute.
You could boo, and you would just assume that it was a lighthearted cheer for Brute. Oh, a little last-minute hit there from Carmen Getzum, but it was before the last whistle. But just maybe a little reminder that Carmen's always watching. Does get the late hit penalty. Yep. What is that called?
That is illegal contact. So
you know all
it which is like the former hand signal of like delay of game.
Right.
So it's that hand karate chop thing.
It was a lot more general before. Now it's
All right, and we have an official timeout.
That does make this a Porcano Taco timeout. Whether it's 1 second, 1 minute, several minutes, we'd like to thank Porcano Taqueria for being a wonderful sponsor here to the Rose City Rollers. They have 2 locations. When you come to Portland, when you see a long line, just get in line. It's delicious, and it's probably going to be Porcano.
Yeah, for the folks flying in a few months for Murder Champs, flying into Portland, go to Porcano before heading down to Salem.
You will not regret it. Moving us into Jam 4, that's Zip Drive jamming for Purple, and Alyssa Prey.
Going through Simonas.
So athletic. Those long, springy legs. 1 foot out, does attempt to come back in, thinks twice. Oh God, there's Gallifrey. Everyone be careful. So good.
Yeah, it's just the secret weapon on the track. Whenever you see Gallifrey with that pivot cover, you just assume there's 2 jammers on the track for Woj, and you're in trouble.
And great work here. Levy, Simonis, Gallifrey with the force out on Alyssa Prey of Rat City.
We are a minute into this jam. Not even.
There's no lead jammer yet.
No lead. Both of these teams with really, really great jammers, but we could talk all night about both teams' defense.
See, I love seeing this type of competition early in the game. They're still filling each other out. There's a lot of pressure. It's like a jack in the box that you're winding up. They're just together, and pop goes Alyssa Prey.
Minute and 30 seconds
That's
to
awesome.
get lead. At that point, Melon, you're just like, oh, man.
I'm tired. Get those points, girl. Looks like a quick attempt to call off, but it gets called off exactly when she wants it, and that's 3 points up on the board for the Rat City Roller Derby All-Stars. I'd like to give a big thank you to OHSU Sports Medicine. They are the proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers. We appreciate them. They're a wonderful medical care team. And I know Rat City has their own sponsored athletic trainer that travels with them, so big thanks for taking care of all our athletes.
Lauren Much back out on the line. A green for Rats. And
lots of room.
Yep.
Wheels of Justice, not yet sure who A Green is, but they're soon to find out, heads.
I think this does play a lot to Seattle's advantage this evening. There are some jammers that many of the Woj skaters have not seen. And so those jams trying to figure out their style.
And then you have players like the legendary Carmen Getzum, who I was talking to before the game, trying to figure out how many times these two teams have met up. It's incalculable. That was before we cared about keeping records.
Right. There's hieroglyphs somewhere, right?
Chiseled into a bar bathroom somewhere.
The side of an old beer can.
I'll come back to Carmen Getzum at the next break.
So Bonnie Thunder's Mad Medic going up against each other this jam. And this will be a power jam for Bonnie. And Mad Medic heading off the track with a track cut.
Simonis with some aggressive offense, hanging out there with Morgan Levy, getting some track time with the Wheels of Justice.
Absolutely.
Always active. The Wheels of Justice really believe that there's never a moment to take a breath when that jammer's taking a lap or coming back from the penalty box. They're always acting and reacting. There's no break.
Yeah, I think both of us having been trackside, we hear that chatter, that constant chatter of what's going on.
Trying to gain some momentum here, Mad Medic wearing the star for Rat City. Lots of shoulder shimmying there. Gallifrey holding it down. Mia Palau and Simonis. Nice move here with Levy leaving the defense to go provide some offensive help for Bonnie Thunders. Yes, you heard it here. Bonnie is getting some offense, and it's effective.
And we saw last season the Woj defense kind of learning Bonnie's style, right? And this season we're seeing
from the
those,
other side.
Right, exactly. And so this season we're seeing that fine-tuned, that partnership between those blockers. Morgan always running in there and helping out.
Well, there's no doubt that Bonnie and OMG brings something special to Portland. Love having them here.
And Freddie Thunders. I mean,
Come
cutest dog in
on,
Derby.
Freddie, little guy. And that will be, I believe, the natural conclusion of that jam. And what I wanted to say about Carmen Getson, we were trying to think, like, she's played in more Rose Rat matchups than any one person. And we remembered that in 2011, I think it's 2012, the one game she didn't participate in, hurt knee, was the debut of Luna Negra for the All-Star team. And so that was even a significant event for Rat City. Even though they were down Carmen, they got Luna, who would later that season get MVP of a playoff tournament.
One of my absolute favorite jammers of all time. Coaching juniors now for Seattle.
Here we are. It's Brute jamming up against A Green. Clear penalty box. Great.
Ooh.
Oh, so steady here. Brute managing to get low, absorb that hit, and still maintain forward trajectory, and still have time to be sassy.
Right, Littlefield taking advantage of all that space, just draw out that jammer.
Yeah, Littlefield is a huge addition to the Rat City team. Formerly known as Little A, out of Tampa.
Sounds right.
Okay.
Although our phones are going to blow up in 2
right.
seconds of someone saying, like,
disclaimer, I'm probably wrong about stuff. Okay, and that is Brute headed to the penalty box. Littlefield, 5 up on the board, spins around OMG and gets hit in there by Tarantula.
Yeah, Brute picking up that track cut. And I want to thank our fantastic officials. Of course, you all can't see us here up on our little sky bridge, but they have set up these fantastic laptops for us so we can see penalties in real time and get them to you. Although you all are smart, savvy folks, you're probably getting them to us, just yelling at the computer.
You are giving them a lot of credit because it's usually people like me watching. Still going here, less than 30 seconds remain in this jam. Littlefield with the advantage. God, OMG winding up for that shoulder hit. Makes a little bit of space for Brute. Makes sure they're safely out of bounds. CC doing a great job of doing a backwards apex jump to get back into position with Getsom. And that'll be number 5, A Green, blocking now. 3 points, 13 big ones.
You know, Mellons, last night, Rose City's record program, folks coming in, the rec league basically had a game here at the hangar, and we were having a conversation about penalties and how those very obvious, new skater penalties that you could tell are forearms, things along those lines. And how today would be different, right? Yeah. You see that you talked about OMG winding up for that big hit and how it looks huge, and people sometimes yell at the computer like, well, how can that not be?
Yeah.
But just that control.
So much control. It's like a jab. You think it looks like you're throwing so much into it, but then you just pop it back a tiny bit, and it increases the physics of that.
Lauren.
Speaking of physics.
Someone defying every single law imaginable.
Lauren Much literally has a pair of wings, according to Red Bull.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Melissa Prey around, clears the pack. Full penalty, Bud Light penalty box for the Wheels of Justice. Simonis in there. 2 blockers in, 1 in Q. I think Levy's in Q.
Yep. And this is something Wheels of Justice will have to watch throughout the game. Not often super heavy penalty heavy, but we are seeing those little waterfalls.
Yes. So here we are, 17 minutes remaining in the first period. That went by really fast. 24 for Rat City, 54 for Rose. That's pretty exciting. That's a great game for Rat.
Absolutely. So let's talk real quickly in between the awesome action about their records for this season.
That's Morgan McSlay, who just played the B team game.
We have several skaters.
Renegade Ruthie,
Morgan McSlay just had about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
And a high rotation skater as well.
Absolutely.
Feels really sweaty. Does it feel really sweaty? I'd like to give a shout out to Sweaty Beck. Oh. I taught her that. I didn't, but it's really sweet. Simonis reporting to that penalty box. Levy was in queue, served that penalty now. 16 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Simonis picking up a direction penalty. That was their second penalty. So far, Wheels of Justice with 6, 5 for Rat City. And of course, as I say that, Tarantula picks up now to play.
Carmen holding it down there. That's with Rickle. And the one and only, that's going to be H. Bots on the track. We have our first team timeout, and that'll be Rose City.
Excellent.
Who
They were
very rarely takes the first timeout.
That's true. They were like, hey, Heads, we are interested on how both of these teams have done, so let's take a timeout and talk about it.
Exactly.
Thanks, everybody.
Take it away, boss.
All right, so both teams have 5 games under their belt this season. Rat doing all of theirs at the Finvitational 1-4 coming out of that. And then we have Wheels of Justice at 5 games, 2 at the Big O, 3 at Hometown Throwdown. So they are 5-0. They had wins against Crime City, Gotham, Angel City, Denver, and arch rival. And by the way, I am still talking about that Wheels of Justice Gotham game. Yeah. I am pretty sure my blood pressure has just
so
finally come down.
That level of play, so unexpected out of those 2 up-and-coming teams right? there.
I tell you, I was the head NSO for that, and I think there's a moment where you can just see the, like,
it's stressful,
panic.
But you are the jack of all trades. That's why we love having you on the mic. You know all the things, and if you're wrong, you're probably not.
I hide it well. All right, so Rat City heading off into playoffs next month, right? So end of September. They're the number 8 seed going to playoffs in Atlanta. They're going to be playing Windy, and if they win that, they'll go on to play Texas.
Very cool. There we have Lauren Much taking that inside track. A Green being held back, but finds some space.
Whoa.
Gallifrey sacrifices her body to the Derby gods and takes a big one. Great athletic legs around the outside of turn 1 there. A Green clears that pack. And Tarantula is out. And I would like to say, if you are tuning in because of Blaze Streaming Media. It is a sold-out house right here in Oaks Park at the hangar. This is going to be our last Rat Rose sibling rivalry game at the Oaks Park, as we will be looking for a new home next year. So
we will have
love you. Thanks, Oaks Park. We love you.
We will have a new venue, but the rivalry will still remain.
Yeah. And a big thank you to Vacasa and Laurelhurst Theater and Pub, league sponsors for Rose City.
In this matchup, we've seen a couple times already this evening. Bonnie Thunder's Mad Medic. Bonnie once again coming out ahead in this matchup.
Lots of action there right in front of that Rose bench. Polygamy Winehouse, Alicia Nesbitt-Smith, and Tenacity holding it down. Mad Medic.
And Melons, you often see this, right, where it's kind of that almost stopped, and the jammer kind of spins their way around. This
sort of trying to pull the stop block, but not really.
Right. This Woj 3-wall just kind of rolls along with the
like,
jammer.
You want a foot? I'll give you a foot. But that's all you get. Mad Medic, recycled, takes a deep breath before hitting that terrible threesome. The one and only Bellstar, skating since the year 1889, as
That's
the
true.
legends go, as her number. Holding it down, we will lose.
We've actually speculated about Bellstar's number, right? The year she started skating, the number of games she's played in.
That was Rickle headed to the penalty box, and it's Bellstar. There's a historical reference there, but it's more fun this way.
Yes.
wow. Finds a little bit of space, sees the light of day, clears that pack for the initial there, and that will be 15 points up on the board, bringing Wheels of Justice in the lead, 24-83, 12 and a half minutes remaining. It is my honor to thank CrossFit Magnus, sponsor of the Wheels of Justice. They're the official fitness partner of the Wheels of Justice, and they do a hell of a job. Thank you, Point, and the team at CrossFit Magnus.
Yeah, these Woj skaters every Tuesday, flipping tires,
Yeah.
jumping
like around
boxes.
the block. Like
yeah.
they're pushing tires around the block. There's actual sparks.
You drive by and you're like, oh, look at that. It's Gallifrey. Zip drive out and lead jammer Alyssa Prey trying to get past Gallifrey. And now Simonis. That's going to be heartbreaking, right? You finally get through, then you turn around and you're like,
Yeah,
no,
that's
there's
the way it
another
goes.
one. Oh, man. This is why I don't skate. I'd be going I'd be the first one to go in the other direction, right? Zip Drive picking up 9 points, bringing the score to 92-24. So we talked about where Rat City is going to be next month, playoffs in Atlanta. Of course, Rose getting that bye as the number 2 seed, going straight to champs in New Orleans. So they're going in as the number 2 seed. However, next month, a month from now, they are going to be at Thin Air Throwdown in Denver. And so here's the thing, right? So you've got these 4 teams who get a bye straight to champs. You got Gotham, you got Woj, you've got VRDL, and you've got Denver, right? They're like, what are we going to do in September? Like sitting home and like watching Catfish is boring.
Save this $1,000 for each skater to try? No.
No, they're going to Denver, and they're going to play in Denver. So it's Denver, Rose, and VRDL. And yeah, that's going to be amazing.
What a great tournament that's going to be.
Brute is out and lead.
Brute. Cece has her back right on top of Brute there, slows her down and catches with Bots and Rickle. Carmen gets him wearing that pivot stripe. And as Green comes in, that jam will get called off. And that's a funny way to hold up points.
Here's Dante.
Thanks, Dante.
Pointing at that 4th point just to let them know.
It's not 5, it's 4.
It's 4. We talked about Lauren Much and their wings.
Yeah.
All right. Red Bull sponsored skater, and Red Bull a proud sponsor of Wheels of Justice and Rose City Rollers. We have a little Red Bull fridge in the corner.
Now, we were loving on Red Bull too much. I saw that Lauren Much had a little bit of a false start. Smart enough to know to back off.
Right.
So there was another penalty there. That was out of play? Is that's a P?
Yeah.
I don't know. And we will lose number 83, Thumper Skull, a.k.a. Thumper Dickoff. Dickoff is her legal last name. Just putting it out there.
before we get the emails.
Oh, we'll get the emails. That's okay. That's your right.
Mia Palau heading to the box.
Oh, man. Big speed here by Lauren Much. Overpowers Mad Medic, who didn't even see it coming. Just trying to get some air. Oh, my gosh.
And
that burst of speed at the last moment.
And you can just, the awareness, the track awareness of Lauren Much coming into that pack, so trying to find their space, looking over, seeing the coach, giving the call it, and just being like, I need to turbo boost.
It takes so much discipline and body awareness to be able to hear that first whistle, and that whistle doesn't mean stop.
Right.
It means go as fast as possible.
Right. If you're sitting at home, it's like the rubbing the belly, tapping your head, and like running really fast down your hallway. It's nothing like that, but that's the only thing I could think of. Bonnie Thunder's Morgan McSlay. Morgan McSlay now, huge. 2 games in a row out there jamming.
It's all right. It's just the Wheels of Justice.
Yeah, I mean, no biggie.
Mia Palau has great track vision, keeps an eye on Thumper on the outside while trying to clear some space on Rickle for Bonnie Thunders. CC holding it down with Rickle, spins around, and it is Bonnie Thunders with another 5.
Yeah, amazing job by CC using the entire width of that track, just left and right, holding Bonnie back.
Such a quick call off there. That was great. And that is going to be a team timeout, the first for Rat City. It is my pleasure to thank, who are we going to thank? Oh, let's thank Fran's Bakery, because halftime's coming up and we do this thing. It's like the best halftime show of any like roller derby league ever.
Says
Fran,
you.
Well, I like bread.
Well, I will give you this, Melon. So, yes.
Okay, it's not like a marching band, okay? So we come out with Fran's Bakery. They are super local. You smell them every day as you're driving around southeast Portland, northeast Portland. And they give us a big rolling tray of bread, and our fans lose their minds. And
right.
we get to throw it at them.
We throw it. Yeah. See, what folks at home don't know, Melons, is Melons has hit a few fans in the head with some English muffins. I think actually my very first game here, I got pelted with but I took a moment, I ate them, and they were delicious.
If you were to take a moment and look at like my elementary school records, it would say like does not know her own strength. It's true.
They make during the summer a lemon crunch bread.
Oh yeah, I like the cinnamon one. Yeah.
Oh, with raspberry. Okay. All right, back to the action.
Anyway, thanks, Franz.
Zip drive for the wheels of Justice, Alyssa Prey for Rat City. Gemini holding zip drive back.
Red DeVicious gets a force out on Gallifrey. I think that's worth saying.
And this is a power jam opportunity for Zip Drive. Alyssa Prey picking up a track cut. Someone is doing a good job of just being right at that line and forcing that cut.
Let's see, is that Drone in there, this jam? Swinging away at the front, clearing some space. Manages to put a little bit of a hit on Amethyst, former Rose City skater.
And actually, the Heartless Others, our former team, wanted to send a shout out to them. They love and miss you.
Yeah, they're all sitting here looking cute, buying merch and supporting the league, drinking beers. Go Heathers, if you're into that kind of thing.
Oh, and another track cut, sending Alyssa Prey back to the box.
About 5.5 minutes remaining in this first period. Looks like coming up September 25th. Is that date correct? Or is that the Rust Riots?
Yep.
Axles of Annihilation playing, and that's the B team tournament this year held in Seattle with Minnesota, Rat, and Arizona, September 25th. Check it out.
And those brute chants throughout the crowd. 5 seconds to get through the pack. Brute is lead. Polygamy Winehouse heading to the box. Looks like a direction.
Littlefield escorting Prey into the pack. Prey finds some space on the outside as Littlefield distracts them.
I'd like to think they did like a song.
Yeah.
You want to see a trick? All right.
Fun fact about the Rat City. According to the U.S. Census from 2010, there were 140,000 dogs in the city of Seattle and 93,000 humanoid children. Seattle has so many more dogs than people. That's That explains so much. They are the most dog-friendly town I've ever been in. And there's so many hills. You walk them all over the place, and it's exhausting. It's a fun Seattle fact. More dogs than people.
Fair.
Fair.
It's kind of how I prefer my cities, actually, now that I think about it.
More dogs than
Sounds
kids.
amazing.
On the inside, that blur across your screen. It's number 77, Lauren Much. Same teams, all good. Pelican Whitehouse just shakes it off.
That shows the strength of that defensive wall of Rat City. Wine's coming in, trying to break up that line and open that door for Much. And they're like, no.
Go ahead and take that one. That one's for you.
So many Red Rover flashbacks.
Thank you goes to Protalis Insoles, sponsor of the Wheels of Justice, providing performance, comfort, mobility, and pain relief for your feet. So be sure to check out Protalis Insoles. We got a little jockeying for position here on the line. Captain Alicia Nesbitt-Smith, and I guess that was Carmen Gitzo. That's fun. Really spread out pack here around turn 1 and 2. Lead jammer going to Connie Thunder.
Littlefield passing that star off to Carmen.
Carmen manages to shake off Tarantula, but of course, Alicia Nesbitt-Smith there for the recovery. We're at about the 2-minute warning for this first period. A track cut going to Carmen Getzum, who is in custody of the jammer hat.
I have no words.
Yeah. Bonnie picks up the first 5 of this jam. Minute and change left in this jam. Minute 44 in the period. Whoa, 2 hands, knows to get back up in that track, calls it off before Carmen can get out. Perfect little icing there. I think Carmen can take off the pivot hat. Nah, she's just gonna be the pivot for this one. No, okay. She's a jammer, she can't be the pivot. Rules, rules, rule.
All right, so Zip Drive will start on that Tonkin.com jammer line. Tonkin.com, a proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers. So we gave him a jammer line.
Is Amethyst holding down the inside, trying to pass him over to teammates here, but Zip Drive picking up lead jammer. 36 seconds left in the period on that period clock, 1.5 minutes on the jam clock. We will watch for the jammer to call it off for the natural conclusion of this jam, et cetera, et cetera. What? All right. Rat City's booties were hanging so far over the line, all 4 of them, and still Zip Drive was able to climb up that inside line. Pretty phenomenal.
I was just doing a penalty count. Both teams sitting at 12 penalties in the first half.
Interesting.
Bellstar picking up a multiplayer right there at the end. I was about to say that Rat had 1 more penalty, and then Bell's like, wait. Let me get this out.
I want it to be equal for everyone.
Right. We are all about fairness and equality, and there you go. All right, we are back for this second half. Score sitting at 144 to 29.
Not only is it a nice day for a white wedding, it's a great
All right, and we are off. Lauren Much out there starting things off for the Wheels of Justice. Alyssa Prey for the Rat City All-Stars. Huge hit by Carmen Gitsum. Lauren Much able to stay inbounds and is lead jammer. Alyssa Prey out and through the pack. Much waiting the call. Calls it off. Picks up.
What'd I miss?
Just a little jam.
Oh, look, 4 and out. I like that.
So we talk about these teams, the matchups. I think we were talking maybe 11 years, 12 or so. That's what we're estimating based on the hieroglyphs. And we'll continue on in new venues. There's an if right off the bat. Rat City using their official review.
Ooh. Now, Vito knows stuff.
Yeah.
Coach Vito. He's been around the block. Good-looking young man.
This is not his first.
So yeah, yes.
Not his first game. So
see what he's got here, and we'll have our head ref Kieran Duncan let us know what's going on momentarily. Until then, I'll just make up what's going on. We don't do that. Don't worry.
All right, so we talked about this this matchup every August. We see this matchup, and we always get the same questions. Why this late in the season? And let's
take it away,
hear
Kieran.
what this is about.
Rat City are looking for a cut call on the Purple Jammer at the end of the last jam.
Okay,
And Mullins, you and I talked about this in the earlier game on the house call. The official reviews, right? Like calling them early and why you would do that. And it's almost always the same thing. You want
towards jammer.
You towards a jammer. You want that cut call. If you are using your official review
yeah, you
this
have
early,
to feel some level of confidence there. You don't necessarily get to use your official review. Like very few, if ever, blocker penalties are ever worth that at any point in the game. So Vito saw something, and he knows that this is a stellar officiating crew, so we're looking forward to their response here.
So since we're on the topic of penalties, and we'll get back to like why we do this August game, we are pretty good. So in terms of Wheels of Justice, 2 skaters on 2, Tenacity and Simonis, everyone else kind of sitting at 1. And then in terms of Rat City, Littlefield with 3, Alyssa Prey, Carmen Gitsum, and Rickle with 2.
Yeah, Rickle and Prey have 2 apiece.
Other than that, looking pretty good.
Here we have Duncan.
Upon review, we have established that the Purple Jammer re-entered in front of a white blocker, improving their position. Before the jam was called off, a cut call will be assessed to Purple 7-7.
So Vito with the all-star selection of the evening. That is great. Vito had a hunch, and you know more than anyone how hard it is to take a no call and turn it into a significant call like a jammer track cut.
Yeah, absolutely. It was sure.
He knows what he saw.
Yep.
So we have Mucho starting off in that Bud Light penalty box. CC also sitting there, and that gives the opportunity for Green to pick up lead jammer for Rat City.
And Littlefield heading off on a leg block. That was...
Did you just make that up?
No, actually.
Is that a penalty?
Yes.
I know all the things. Here comes Amethyst. Now they do have a packed penalty box. CC standing just in time for Amethyst to enter the pack. And Thumper, you got it. You're fine. Go get him.
And we're seeing...
CC knows what she's supposed to do. Tries to slow down. Lauren Much can only do so much until she hits that pack. Much completes the initial. It is Green, the lead jammer. So what is that? The Matrix?
The Matrix, okay. Yeah, exactly. Five more points. So
Big shout out here to Triple Eight. The Wheels of Justice are wearing the new Triple Eight certified Sweat Saver helmet, providing the ultimate certified protection and comfort. That's right, they're wearing Triple Eight helmets.
yeah, if you actually look at this amazing Blaze streaming media live feed, you will not see sweat on the brow of the Rose skaters because of the Sweat Saver. And I mean, they're working hard. We have an official timeout. In the Bud Light penalty box here at the hangar, we have a phone, and it goes directly to our mezzanine. That goes straight to the score table, and they can adjust points and everything, and it's a very, very neat thing that we have. I got to tell you, like, our officials are all about the technology, although that phone is straight 1980s.
Yeah, it really is.
But
where did they
it
even
works.
find a corded wall-mounted phone?
Somebody's grandmother
I'm
donated
gonna have
it.
to like paint it with sparkles or something. It's just plain white.
And Alyssa Prey through the pack. About 10 seconds.
Wow, fast-moving pack. Bots out in front. Gets just a little piece of Bonnie Thunders. Bots, of course, member of the very famous and widespread Bots clan of roller derby skaters worldwide. And Dylan Bots. There's a whole bunch of bots that are like great at roller derby.
Nice.
Yeah, they're like ants and things. I know my stuff, huh?
I'm staring at you in amazement, Melons, but I realize that does not do well for a webcast. Like, I should say something, but I'm just staring in amazement. All right, Brute on the line for the Wheels of Justice.
Simonis just pushing off so hard to clear that lane. And Littlefield denying that early opportunity for lead jammer for Brute.
Mad Medic through around Simonis for that lead.
Cassie Beck, where's Mad Medic from? Someone tell me. Oh, big ol' head, 1 foot out or nah? That was good.
Is Cassie Beck not at the Bad Champs?
I don't know. She's texting me. She's sitting
there
around
you
with her Pekingese weird alien dogs. And the best husband ever, Scott.
Just say. I know my former leagues having their home team
Medic's from
champs.
Ole.
Ah, there you go.
You remember brown uniforms and blonde ponytails? Those are the good old days.
The West Coast is rich with derby.
History. Starting this off here, Zip Drive jamming again for the Wheels of Justice, taking that opportunity. Green wearing the star, number 5 in white for Rat City.
All right, Zip Drive heading to the box on a track cut. They thought they were lead. Like, yay, no.
Wait, I need to definitely exit the track.
Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, A Green is now out and through and lead. Running into the back of their own blocker, and now up against that Polygamy Winehouse, OMG, and Alicia 3-wall. Zip Drive now back out, able to sneak around. Five points on the board for Rat.
Just under 25 minutes remaining in this game. Green brings them up to 44 for Rat City. All right, they didn't quit it there. And a beautiful 7 points shutting out Wheels of Justice this jam. Thank you very much to 187 Killer Pads. They are the official gear sponsor of the Wheels of Justice. 187. Their pads match the track. We coordinate.
We do. All right, Lauren Mudge trying to take the inside line.
Oh, everybody hug everybody. In the madness, Lauren Mudge untouched. Picks up lead.
We'll cuddle later. It's a little hot here in Portland. I'll be back.
Mudge moves to the in. Littlefield is there. In like a, what do we used to call that? When one in front and one next to you? All right. Anyway, Thumper doing a great job here with Littlefield, just making it real hard for Lauren Mudge. Oh, that's called a back block. Yeah, I called it early, but it was a definitive back block.
It was one of those instructional videos on how to do a back block, and so well done. This is a power jam for Lauren Mudge. And this is the kind of penalties we were talking about yesterday with like the new up-and-comers, where like, you just like you know what it's gonna be.
She wasn't even trying, Lauren Mudge. She'll take that 15. 22 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in this game. Wheels of Justice on top. One in the box. We'll be starting off in a power jam with the one and only Bonnie Thunders wearing the star for the Wheels of Justice.
And took Bonnie about 6 seconds to get through that pack.
Holly Botts headed to the penalty box for a direction of play penalty.
Effortless.
Yeah, that's what I came here for.
Four more for Bonnie.
Kills a few seconds.
There are just some jammers. You as an announcer, you just stay quiet and let the skating.
Let them do all the talking. And what is that called?
Low block on Rickle.
Okay, at the end of that, 5 more for Bonnie. That's going to be a 14-point jam.
And right at the end there, Cece picking up a direction call. That is second penalty for Cece. So far for Rat, Littlefield the only one up above 3 penalties, sitting at 4. Wheels of Justice, nobody in trouble so far. Tenacity, Simonis, and Mudge sitting at 2.
It's really exciting to see skaters at such a high level with 0 penalties. OMG, Gallifrey, Alicia, Bonnie Thunders. Yeah, that's cool. It's doable to be such an aggressive assassin of a skater and play it clean.
Definitely not the folks you see come out for like one jam and just kind of stand there, right? And think, I played clean the entire game.
Brute puts his shoulder down, takes out Littlefield, and will collect those 5 points.
And let's hope we did not just do the announcer's curse where all of those above mentioned skaters spend time in the box right now. The Bud Light penalty box just explodes.
Here we have a Star Stash. Green with a psycho. I like this lineup. I like this lineup for the Wheels of Justice. OMG, Tenacity, Alicia, and Tarantula.
Yeah, watching these lines over the past season just come together and everybody's individual talents and just how amazing they have melded together.
Right, and that's to excellent coaching, being able to figure out, it's one thing to like skating with a certain partner, but who are you statistically more effective with?
Right.
How does it change the game? That was cool.
Well,
That's a skater named Lauren Much.
And we just learned Mad Medic can bounce.
Yep.
That is
Good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of love to the bench coaches and support staff out there who put all the pieces in the right places.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a couple folks, see, there we go, OMG with their first penalty of the game, thanks to Melons. And then out of play. It's okay. I believe I said earlier in the B team matchup, 19 jams in a row.
That's right.
Rose City Rollers B team
They
had
lead.
lead, right? 19 out of 19 jams. I mentioned that jam 20, of course.
And then
Seattle gets 20 jams. Yeah, so I'm sorry for
That was Evergreen Green proving you wrong, I believe.
exactly.
Down one apiece in that Bud Light penalty box. Starting us off here, Bonnie Thunders and Alyssa Prey, number 91. Levy, Gallifrey, now Simonis right on top of Prey. Great effort there by Amethyst. Bonnie can't find the room on the inside, backs off around the out. Calls it off. Happy there's at least 3 points there. 1, 2, 3. Big shout out to Rose City sponsor, Two Town Cider. Damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest.
Have you had the pineapple?
Yeah, I've had the pineapple.
Oh, man. They make the best pineapple cider ever.
Pineapple's great. It belongs on pizza.
Have you tried the Two-Town cider pineapple cider?
Did we just have our first fight?
I think we did. I'll give you this, Melon. It belongs on other people's pizza. How's
All
that?
right,
There
that's
we go.
the right thing to
Compromise.
say.
See? Look at that. That's what we need.
Have your pineapple or don't.
We support you no matter what. Brute trying to make their way through. CC
Perfect
and
little bridge there. You see
yeah.
that they're lining up on the inside of the track to gain every inch. CC shaking that one off.
I don't get a vote.
Yeah.
I don't get a vote in MVP blocker, but if I did, CC right now is my top pick.
She gets so fired up. She's intense, so fun to skate with. So silly. Polygamy Winehouse peeling CC off of Brute for 5 more.
Now, Polygamy Winehouse new to Wheels of Justice this season. Played on a bunch of teams overseas. And has really, really found their footing.
Oh, wow. Track cut here. Rickle receiving the star is going to be the jammer in the penalty box for Rat City. You were saying? We were talking about Polygamy Winehouse.
So we saw them at Big O, right? And still fairly new to the team, finding their footing, their place on the team, and where they would fit in. We knew they would be an amazing, amazing addition to the blocker rotation, especially given all of the retirees, Rivas, Jennings, Chestnuts, right? We wanted one of those big blockers to come in, those power blockers.
Nacho.
Yeah, Nacho, right? Just those power blockers to come in. And we found that in Winehouse, and they have just melded with this team and are really, really peaking at the right time.
Gemini with some track time there for Rat City, number 1771. Woj holding it way back, taking every inch they can in the rear of the pack, and Duncan defining the pack the boundaries.
And Littlefield picking up that 5th penalty, that low block.
Bonnie with 14 so far this jam. Finds the room. Pretty brave move coming out. I like it. 19 to zip jam. Wheels of Justice. Showing what they got. 13 minutes remaining in this game.
So we started talking earlier about why every August, why, and we know, we hear it all the time, right? Why do they do this? Why does Wheels of Justice play Seattle? It doesn't count for the rankings. It doesn't count for that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
No, why would you do that? Not the rankings. It is really about this experience. Both of these teams, under last year's kind of structure, would be going to playoffs in a couple, right? Next month, and getting that experience with each other. We talked about the camaraderie between these teams and kind of that sisterhood amongst everyone, and how it's just a great opportunity for both leagues to kind of fine-tune things
exactly
right before, without having to worry about the rankings.
Mm-hmm. And obviously it's a fan favorite.
Right, yeah, it is a sold-out crowd. We did have folks outside kind of crying, but then they went home and they watched on Blaze streaming media. And, when you have Bridgeport Brewing in your fridge, like brewing company
all good.
beer,
it's like the same thing.
Two-Town Cider, you can just sit there and...
Team timeout here. Rat City grabbing that timeout. I'd like to thank Kay's Bar, Myopic Optometry, and New Deal Distillery, proud sponsors of Rose City. Thank you very much. We have Uppercase G and Liquor and Split dancing in front of the Wheels of Justice bench. And of course, following this bout, we'll all be heading over to the Nightlight Lounge in beautiful Southeast Portland, Clinton Division neighborhood.
They actually have, they did a drink in the Rose City Rollers drink. They will be debuting it at the after party.
I also know, don't they have like purple and green Jello shots tonight? I think I read that with the New Deal Distillery vodka. I don't know if I made that up. I might have, but I don't think so.
Are we talking about the after party or your house, Melons?
I'm a whiskey drinker.
Lauren Much out of the pack, about 3 seconds.
That was just a weird chip. Direction penalty now on Carmen. She's all right. Bot's checking in on Lauren Much there. Just a bit of a fall. Before the game, Carmen said they were just going to go right back to their old strategies. They were going to do some campfire. They were going to all line up, do the conga line, maybe take a knee before a whistle. I'm not seeing much of that. Maybe that's why they're not winning this game, I think.
Cece's going to have a helmet bruise, right about the tailbone area tomorrow. So when they're like, well, how did I get this bruise here?
She's always asking that.
It was much as helmets.
Bonnie just so quick, that fast twitch muscle, forward, backward, sideways. She's like a joystick. Somehow Alyssa Prey finds room on the outside, contorts her body around Polygamy Winehouse and Tarantula. Speeds up the pack, which pushes out those rat blockers, and Bonnie Thunder's happy with those 4. A little over 10 minutes remaining. Rat City 46. Wheels of Justice, slightly more points, 257 of them. Got Brute jamming here. Green digging into the backs of Simonis, Mia, Gallifrey, and it is Brute lead jam. Carmen peels off and awaits Brute's entry. Brute gets forced out, spins around on one toe, just barely the toe stop of her opposite skate went out of bounds, so she was conservative, grabs them all, calls them off.
So the folks like me who like stats and numbers and all that good stuff, we are actually seeing a very kind of true to the prediction of point differential as
Did you
expected.
just do math?
I did.
Nerd.
That was the silence. It was me sitting there with my little pen, just figuring it out. But we're kind of right on track to the projected RCR, just a little bit above projection.
Now, who do we got jamming here?
I think.
Oh, that's Mad Medic. Okay.
Yeah, this
Cool.
has been the matchup of the night. I think these two on the track.
See Tarantula get low. The pivot holding down that pod always has their body positioned right in front of that jammer. Oh my gosh. That was hard. Bonnie's good at stuff.
And
Direction of play there.
Yep. Red Vicious heading to the box on that direction.
How many times do you think Bonnie Thunders rotates in a game?
I think
That's like looking at a jar of jelly beans.
so. I have a theory that they are always rotating. They're just doing it so fast
You
we
can't
don't
see
see it. Right? It's kind of like the Earth, right? Like we know it rotates, unless you don't believe it's round. But we know it rotates. We just don't see it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same premise with Bonnie.
She's probably always rotating. We just see it some of the time.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, little lapse in judgment there. Bonnie with 15 so far in this jam. 7.5 minutes remain in the game.
And Bonnie so far with 20 on the jam.
Mad Medic removes the star. Amethyst wearing the stripe for Rat. Tries to come back. Great effort here by Tenacity to block that pass. And now Tarantula pushing Amethyst forward.
So we have Bellstar with a destruction. We have a multiplayer.
Oh, wow. Great work there. Number 143 manages to grab that star right in front of Tarantula,
Wow.
which is scary, and jukes around. Puts the pressure on Bonnie and gets that one called off before too much damage can be done. But 25's pretty good, I guess. All right, everyone's pretty stoked here. Gallifrey wearing that Jammer star for the first time in the game tonight.
Now, Gallifrey, one of the top scorers, of course, on their home team, and they don't actually jam much.
No,
for
those
their
are all
home
pivot
team,
points.
Right? So it's one of those things, we don't get to see them start with the star much, but when we do, it is so exciting. 3.5 seconds, if that.
Unbelievable. We got 6 minutes left in the game. Alyssa Prey clears the pack. And Gallifrey just breaks him off one at a time. Prey puts on the pressure, so Gallifrey happy to put up a 4-0 jam.
And Melons, it's one of those things with Wheels of Justice. We talk about the amazing blockers, right? And we know the jammers of the Wheels of Justice. We know, Skull down with Denver.
We've always known. Yeah.
Now Bonnie and Much, of course, just steady throughout the retirement of Liquor last year, and that gap, right? You're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And the jammers we have, everyone in the jammer rotation is just a superstar. It's one of those things that, like, you could put them in any single league and they would just be the all-star MVP jammer. I can't say enough about them. And you think about, like, Gallifrey and themselves is someone who isn't a part of the normal jammer rotation, just coming in and dominating.
Just giving the jammers a break in that rotation. Now they got Zip Drive, lower rotation. We're going to see great things out of Zip Drive in this at Champs and beyond.
Thunder Dame back from injury. Skated earlier tonight with the B team, just kind of getting
Shaking
back.
off the cobwebs.
Exactly, shaking off the cobwebs, and looked just impressive. It is so exciting
What
to
a
see them
beast.
back.
Nice work here. Alicia Nesbitt-Smith, OMG. Tarantula, making it real hard. Green's life is real hard right now. And finds that outside. So Rat City's A Green, lead jammer. Little over 4 minutes remaining in this game. I don't know if I caught the final score of the first game this evening, but both games seem to be pretty mirroring in the results.
Very similar, yes.
That looked like weird. Okay.
You mentioned Tarantula in this jam. We've mentioned Simonis earlier in jams. Both veteran skaters coming in over the past several years. Windy City, Philly for Tarantula,
Philly,
right? Simonis, Windy City. And just really great skaters coming in and watching them evolve to the Woj style.
Yeah. And,
Oh,
and it's
man.
not easy. I mean, Simonis is a great all-around skater, but what a valuable offensive blocker. And
Right.
we didn't know that.
Right, exactly.
They were a jammer, right?
Right.
Great knowledge and experience to have. Simonis, one of the best offensive skaters in the game right
Yeah,
now.
comes in from that jammer perspective,
Yes.
understands it, and is just able to get in there and has this can opener move that just opens a path for the jammer every single time. Tarantula as well, coming in as just a very well respected blocker, and just the control they now have, right? We're used to those big hits that you see on like the gifts, like those blow up hits where you're like, Tarantula just sent someone flying into the crowd. Oh, cool. And now just that control.
It's micro hits. It's
Yeah.
more about dominating space than dominating someone's physical person.
Yeah. I'm very excited for where this team has come, even from the beginning of the season. You know, I think it's hard. You were two-time champs. You very graciously go into champs last year and VRDL, just dominating and taking the trophy and coming back and being like, okay, what do we do with this?
Yeah.
And how do we, with many of the same players, fine-tune and adjust and get ourselves where we need to be to bring the Hydra home?
And it's also cool to see skaters who are longtime Rose City alum, home team, all-star team. Brute took some time off here and there, comes back. Brute, the sky's the limit.
Right.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, we talk about the transfers and that's a lot of times what we talk about, but just the Brute. Gallifrey comes to us from another Oregon, down the road in Eugene, right? But still, Oregon Grove.
Yep.
And the folks within the league who've just kind of come up and the excitement surrounding them. And the graciousness. I know sometimes you hear, leagues get a little upset. And they've just embraced.
I mean, when you have the opportunity, take it. But seriously, stop moving to Portland. Traffic is terrible. All right, a little over 2 minutes remain in this game. Wheels of Justice now surpassing the 300 mark. Simona standing in the Bud Light penalty box. Heads, I believe the crowd is cheering for you.
There you go. Now
Oh,
they're
yeah.
cheering. There. So as like any big sporting event, when there's a huge gap towards the end of the evening, folks kind of filtering out, still many folks in the stands, and we love all of our Derby fans, and we thank you all for still staying with us if you were watching the feed, and for those in the stands.
You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
It's nasty in that penalty box. 2 in for Rat. Like, what if Bonnie Thunder does is like a triple axel backflip right now? Like, save it for the end of the game. That's awesome.
or just a Wednesday night scrimmage.
Yeah. Alicia looking as aggressive as the first jam of the game. Gets Morgan McSlay, lead jammer of this jam, to call it off after Bonnie puts up 14. 9. Official review. I heard those words.
Yes, Rat City is taking that as their timeout. And you know, it's not about a 270-point comeback jam. It is really about taking the opportunity to get all this playtime in. This is definitely a rebuilding year for Seattle, right? Luna Negra not skating with Seattle. A few faces missing from the rotation.
I was really hoping Missile America was going to find her way back.
So we're seeing that, and just the opportunity, especially with them going to playoffs next month, to have all of these moments. Although, now that I'm saying that, everyone's yelling at their computer like, but they are discussing something. So I take it all back. But even still, it's a great opportunity.
Why are you wrong?
I admit when I'm wrong, Melons.
Rat City are reviewing the total points scored by the Purple Jammer.
Why not? Why the hell not? Count those points. Big thank you to Voodoo Donuts. The magic is in the hole. Proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice. All the Wheels of Justice games, they send us over some very special edition Wheels of Justice filled with delicious gooiness donuts.
I'm digging the dancing on the Tonkin.com penalty line. And synchronized dancing at that, like Alyssa Prey and Gallifrey. Not only fantastic blockers, fantastic jammers, and now great synchronized dance partners.
Final scoring pass, there were 3 blockers scored on and a jammer lap point. White 1771 was not passed. The points are correct. Rat City will lose their last review.
You tell him, Duncan. So well spoken. Makes a hell of a cocktail, let me tell you.
Good to know.
Oh, man, they know their liquor. Like, for real, they, like, know stuff, like, about the brands and not, professional.
They brought some mezcal to Hometown Throwdown. That was the most amazing mezcal you've ever had. I have to give it up to the gym.
Ooh, that was cool. But she's up, man. Let's Pray takes a big one, like a turtle on the back shell, but manages to pop up. There you go. Let's Pray. Hell of a lead jam. That was cool.
And we talked about this. Don't leave. Never leave until the end of the game because you miss fun things like this.
Rickle running back. Gallifrey, who's jamming right now, like in a squat position to make sure that butt is like as far back as possible. That was really fun for our fans up in the front row of our bleachers. Wow. And Gallifrey with a belly flop on the infield.
They blended in. I didn't see it for a while. And now on the...
No, whatever. I don't have an opinion.
Illegal.
I do have an opinion.
You do have an opinion. But I appreciate you internalizing that opinion. Wheels of Justice on their feet. Period clock.
Look at that big smile on her face. That's great.
Period clock has expired. Just under a minute left on the jam. Wheels of Justice standing up.
Pray. Trying to grab a couple points. 40 seconds to do as she pleases. Yeah, call that one off. No point in getting hurt. At the end of that, Pray will put up 8 points, winning the last jam of the game. And we will have an official score momentarily. But thanks very much for tuning in to our Blaze streaming media live feed. Maybe you saw it on YouTube channel, maybe you saw it on Blaze Streaming Media's channel, maybe you saw it on RoseCityRollers.com. We appreciate you. We encourage you to support our sponsors and be good to each other. Get a final score here, and once we do have that, we will throw it down to our house announcers, and we will have some MVP blockers and jammers. I think Vito should be MVP blocker for Rat City for winning that review.
My vote's for CZ still. That's
Oh,
just
right,
amazing,
okay.
amazing job. But Vito honorary. You know what? We'll give Vito visiting coach.
Perfect.
Of the night.
Maybe the announcer should be awarding like one coach who out-coached the other one. Anyway, that's enough from us. I'm Ophelia Mellons.
I'm Heads Will Roll.
The Wheels of Justice won over Rat City. We
6-0.
appreciate you tuning in. We'll have some MVPs. Have a very safe and lovely weekend.
Be good to each other.